I'm gonna be transparent about my story, right? So I got saved when I was about 17 years old, 16, 17 years old. Got saved, man. The Holy Ghost, I'm talking about, man, filled my life. And, you know, in the type of culture that I grew up in, prophecy was very heavy wine. So it's very easy to be in church and somebody walk up to you and start to prophesy to you. That's the culture that I grew up in, right?
That's cool.
I was told that I was going to be a pastor for years. As soon as I got saved, I kid you not. So I got saved in the summertime. Once I got saved, the Lord set a fire in my heart. I'm talking about, I began to preach the gospel. I'm talking about crazy. I always been a bold guy, but I'm talking about supernatural courage. Like it was like man, I'm talking to everybody about the love I have received. So I'm preaching, I'm doing all this sort of stuff. My dad made me a minister. He told me I was a minister. I'm the assistant pastor at my dad's church within 2 years. After I'm the assistant pastor, my dad is preparing to make me pastor of the church. Now, at this moment, I am about 21, 22 years old. No, I'm about 18 to 22 years old. I'm just being an assistant pastor. My daddy got ill, so I went from preaching once a month to preaching every week. So now, during the time span, like I told you, everybody have a time span. And I think that's what messes us up. So in the time span, if I started preaching at 17, 18, I should be pastoring the church at 22.
For sure. So
now I'm 21, and now I feel like the Lord is leading me another direction. And then I go to this other church. And this other church that I went to, I'm telling you, but shout out to Pastor P, man. And he took me under his wing. And now I'm still on my verge of low-key becoming a pastor. And then God called me another direction. And I'm saying to myself, all right, God, what to do now? Because I thought I would be a pastor by now.
For sure.
And for me, because I felt like my life wasn't working out, I invested myself into my career because I wasn't happy about where my life was, because I felt like I wasn't living in purpose. Because from the outward looking in, if you see a person preaching at a church one week, and now you see him not even going to church as much, in your head, you're saying to yourself, yeah, he missed it.
Yeah, for sure.
But for me, man, I had to learn. I'm telling you, man, God began to give me so much strength, because what I learned was every place that he took. And my journey is a little different. You know, Pastor J. Ward been at his church for years now. I have been to 2 churches. 3 churches now. Yeah, City Church. So I have been through these different churches, and I'm just trying to listen to the voice of God. I'm trying to be exactly what God has called me to be. And I have a hard time understanding purpose. I had a hard time understanding purpose because I felt like it didn't look like what I used to be, because the way like I told you last episode, my purpose to me was about the stage. So I felt like if I didn't have the stage, I was out of purpose. So when I came to City Church, I was like, man, I'm running. I can hide here.
No, that's good, bro.
So it was hard for me, man. So like when I talk to you guys about understanding that purpose ain't about a stage, I really mean that, because even though I'm not preaching every Sunday like I used to be, I know that this is the will of God for me to be here.
Hey, I got a question to interject on you. For you. Did you ever come to a point where you just kind of like forgot about what you felt like you were supposed to do? Almost like you just kind of like just set it down. Like you know what? I'm moving on. Yeah.
I felt like I let my dad down, and I let my former pastor down. Because I felt like I wasn't doing my job there. Because this is the thing, you know. No matter what my journey is, I have learned to be honest with myself, but my honesty has caused me to neglect the grace and the mercy of God. So I battled with myself for a long time, saying to myself, man, I feel like, man, I could have did so much more in my dad's church. I could have did so much more at my former church. Like all of this sort of stuff that I felt like was so heavy on me, and I battle with it every now and then, man. But I realized that because I'm called by God, God has given me enough grace, enough mercy, enough of his love to carry me through the moments that I didn't feel like I made always the right decisions. So in other words, I have learned that that purpose for me is not about what I'm doing, is about how I am postured.
Yeah.
I'm Jose, right? I'm Jose the Anointed Barber. I've been known for that for years. But I'm not no longer known as just being a barber. So what I had to learn was I had to learn to accept where I am and to use the thing that God has given me, the platform of barbering, to minister and deal with men and to deal with whoever sit in my chair. Because of what I learned is that it's not about the platform, it's about the posture.
No, that's good.
So for me, man, that's my journey, man. Like I ain't know when I was at City Church, man. When I first got to City Church, I was trying to hide. That boy Diedrich had told me about it, and I love Diedrich so much, man. Diedrich is a major. He's like my Barnabas. I'm serious, man. Like it's like Diedrich low key helped save my life. So man, I met that boy Diedrich. We saw Joseph. And man, that boy Diedrich, man, told me to come to City Church, and I was just coming just to Joe that boy. And then Bishop had preached something, and it changed my heart. I think he was just getting out of the hospital. The name of the message was "I Hot." Yeah, that was my first service, and I never really been nowhere else since then. So it impacted me in a way because I said, okay, I have always worked on my Superman, but here I'm working on my Clark Kent. So for me, City Church ain't really about Superman for me. Like, now this platform is a part of my Superman. I'll be honest with you, because this is a part of the stage. This is a part of the glimmer and the but a part of Pastor J. Ward's purpose in my life is to help me work with Clark Kent. And what I learned is that when you take care of Clark Kent, Superman can fly a whole lot higher.